Hi, I'm here to give a talk on heat-not-burn technology, a multi-billion-dollar technology developed by the tobacco industry, which is poised to disrupt the US cannabis business. A bit of background on myself. I've spent most of the past 15 years in Tokyo developing harm reduction technologies for the tobacco industry. I had a great pleasure in working with a guy called Sid Mead, who designed Blade Runner, and Tron, and Aliens, and we've been asked by Big Tobacco what the future of the tobacco industry was going to look like. So we went away and we created some visuals, essentially, that made the tobacco industry a vaping industry, and there would be no consumption of burning materials or combustion whatsoever. So that the whole future we depicted at the time was going to be a heat not burn or a vaping future, a healthier alternative, basically. So what is heat not burn? Heat not burn essentially is where a plant matter is heated up to a certain temperature to volatilize materials. In tobacco, the volatilization of nicotine in order to absorb the nicotine, and in cannabis, it's the cannabinoids and the terpenes. Combustion occurs around 600 plus degrees. So as long as the plant material is heated up to a lower temperature than that, then the volatiles are vaporized. So a brief history of heat not burn in the tobacco and the cannabis industry. The tobacco industry has invested many billions of dollars in heat not burn technology over the years, and there's been a history of a number of products over the last 20 years that has been launched into the tobacco market. Most of them have been failures, except now there's the IQOS by Philip Morris, which they developed over a number of years for $6 billion. And it's actually taken 20% of the Japanese tobacco market. It's now been launched in 53 different countries, and it's about to be launched in the US. So, and tobacco has actually been focusing on heat not burn as a harm reduction technology, as they call it in the industry. So then polarized, the cannabis industry, which has been somewhat hampered by regulation, is developed in a totally different method. It hasn't involved any pre-filled consumables like a tobacco stick in the tobacco industry. It's always been about empty ovens and electronic devices that heat the cannabis to a certain temperature. Hats off to Stores and Pickle guys making the Volcano, the Crafty, the Mighty, and then there's a plethora of other products in the market as well. Probably most notably the PAX, now the PAX 3 third generation heat not burn device. Many great products out there, a testament to how popular heat not burn is in the cannabis industry. There are many millions of devices being sold for heat not burn with cannabis. But without fail, all the devices in the marketplace at the moment require the user to buy their cannabis, grind the cannabis, pack an oven to an unknown density, choose a temperature, and then select a duration for heating the cannabis up. Then you draw the volatiles from the cannabis, and afterwards you need to empty the oven of the device. This usually involves using a stainless steel spatula and a brush. And then every 10 or 15 times, the user needs to clean the device thoroughly with rubbing alcohol because of the buildup of residues in the device. So knowing these technologies from the tobacco industry and how that was evolving, and that the launch of IQOS was imminent in the US market, and knowing all of the different technologies and brands and products in the cannabis space, I decided that it was the perfect time to put together a pre-filled cartridge or disposable biodegradable paper stick in the cannabis heat not burn category. So basically, looking at the future of heat not burn technology, literally this is only the beginning. This is really only the beginning for the tobacco industry and the cannabis industry. There's going to be many more products emerging and becoming successful in both industries. And basically our Amura system, the flower stick platform, we believe will be one of the predominant technologies in the cannabis industry anyway. And fundamentally, this is because we've merged the convenience of a filled flower stick with all of the technological benefits of heating up the device. So essentially, what we have done is we've took the pain points out of what happens in the cannabis devices. We don't need to grind the flower. The stick is already pre-filled. We don't need to select a temperature. We've got a proprietary heat curve inside the device. We don't need to pack an oven. We just stick or put the stick in the device and turn it on. There's a session that lasts 3 minutes, which has been designed to accurately and efficiently boil off all the cannabinoids in the stick. And then when the users finish that process, they simply take the stick out and throw it in the trash. It's totally biodegradable. There's no tools for even cleaning the Umura oven out because there's no contact between any of the compounds and the oven element itself. So one thing that makes heat not burn very relevant for the cannabis industry, and actually so much more so than the tobacco industry, tobacco often needs to be treated. In certain products on the market at the moment, there's a humectant that is added to a reconstituted tobacco sheet in order to give out a visible vapor and to carry the nicotine more consistently throughout the session. Whereas in cannabis, the cannabis plant is so rich with cannabinoids and terpenes, it really lends itself to a heat not burn product. And specifically, we use convection over conduction. Now, conduction is used by the IQOS device, which actually heats radially from a heat bar inside the device, but it's actually problematic because it causes the tobacco to weld itself to that heat bar. We're using convection, and convection essentially is like a hairdryer. We're pulling hot air past a coil and through the stick, and by doing so, we evenly heat the contents of the stick and maximizing the efficacy, basically, of the cannabinoids and the terpenes inside the cannabis plant. Okay, thank you very much for listening to me today. My name is Mike Simpson again, CEO of Umura. Thank you very much.